Hey, welcome back. This is Marty. Today we have a lightning build for you guys. And if you like Wolcen, if you like ARPG games, remember to subscribe to my channel for even more great builds. As you can see, my summonings are simply taking down the boss here. I'm not doing anything. And they're able to do quite a lot of damage, as you can see right here, right? So, without further ado, let's carry on. So let me just quickly tell you what's the idea behind this build. We're using a liver mortis, and this is getting buffed up as much as we can. You can see 35,000 damage right here. And we use consuming embers with the lightning modifier to get a buff to get even greater damage on liver mortis, and then blood for blood with lightning as well to get even more damage, right? You can see 35,000, and we can use this. We'll get the buff here. So let's just check it out. With the one buff on, we got 42,000. With this, we got 49,000 average damage, which is absolutely crazy, guys. You can do endgame stuff with this. And we're using ether jump as well to move around quickly. It's always nice. And then to dump our rage, I've chosen Wrath of Bapeth. I know I've been using this in a lot of builds, but it's doing a lot of damage in congestion with this weapon right here. If you do not have this weapon, do not worry, you can still play this build if you use a one-handed and a catalyst. But this weapon has got a lot of total damage. You can see a lot of main damage, which is really good for the liver mortis. It converts this two-handed high damage into summon damage, right? So yeah, let's see how this build plays, and let's carry on. So what you want to do at all times is keep your damage buffs up. As you can see here, when I use consuming embers, I get damage buff, and then you will get some rage, and you can use the blood for blood as well, and you will get around 36,000 here average summon damage. We can just test out some of the damage that we do. Works out pretty well here in a 136. Yeah, and also we have extra projectiles from our passive skill tree on our summons. So this will grant us some extra damage. And we got pierce on our projectiles as well. So we can just pass through enemies with the fireballs here, or the lightning balls. Yeah. And it's really effective. Remember to pick up the green gourds, of course. It buffs up the damage quite a bit. And yeah, that's basically it. You got some movement speed. You also got damage when you teleport through enemies. You can see you do some kind of damage to them. And here we can just see the summons taking down this elite here without any issues at all in a few seconds. So yeah, it's doing quite a lot of damage, and the end bosses go down really quickly as well. So should be no problem playing this up until at least the 166 level, which is the highest one to get the highest gear. So yeah, but without any further delay, let's head back and take a closer look on the skills. So let's take a look at the skills here. First up, Wrath of Bapeth. We are using Wrath of Bapeth with increased damage and area of effect, and also with a life leech buff that buffs up ourselves and our allies, so we get some life back when we do damage, which is pretty nice. We have some pretty big hits, so it's a lot of extra health that you get back. Extra skill damage here, and that's basically it for this skill. We're using consuming embers with the ability to pierce all enemies here, and also grant us a temporary buff to lightning that will buff up all our lightning damage and also our summons. We have Blood for Blood here that also gives us extra damage on the amount of health that we are missing, the higher bonus that we will get to lightning, and it's also giving a damage buff, temporary damage buff as long as it's up to all our lightning stuff, and that is buffing up the damage on Livor Mortis, both from the Consuming Embers and Blood for Blood, so it kind of stacks, so we will do a lot of extra damage. And besides these two, we also have the green globes to pick up, so that will increase our damage even more. So it's over 100%. Once you have everything up, you will do around 70k summon average damage here. We're running with 2 Livor Mortis, and they are set up the exact same way, as you can see here, with just increased damage and some summon damage absorption as well. So they take some of the damage that we also take, so it helps us to stay alive, and we have 2 up, so that's a 30% increase in total. You could run without Blood for Blood and then use 3 of these, but it requires that you are able to get 3 spells duplicated here, and you have to upgrade some stuff in town, but I'll show you this in a moment. Ether Jump, I've chosen these nodes, so it will increase our range, and it will also give us our movement speed after using Ether Jump, so you can move through the dungeons quicker. And that's basically it for the skills. And to be able to duplicate your skills, you have to go in here and upgrade in the Interact laboratory here. I haven't got the second one yet, but I'm working on that. But once you have upgraded the first one, you can go down to Demetra here, and you can choose a skill and you can duplicate it, and then you can level up your duplicated skills. So I have this 79 version, and I also have the 72 version here. So yeah, that's how you duplicate your skills to get 2 of these guys down on the board. And now for a few tips about the gear. I am using this Zephyran Herald of Change, but you can also use a one-handed and a catalyst to get access to the same skills. But this is greatly increasing our lightning damage, so it would be a big plus if you have this one. I am going with lightning damage gems in all my accessories here, and in general get some high movement speed with a lot of elemental damage. I have elemental damage on nearly all pieces of gear to buff up elemental damage as much as possible. And once you get the bigger gems, you can see it's a high increase for each gem that you have in your accessories. But yeah, that's basically what I'm using for this. I think I'm gonna keep it a bit short in this video, but yeah, there's not so much to be said. It's good to have some rage and willpower cost reduction, and then add frost damage or lightning damage from your rings. Is pretty good with this build, or fire, something elemental at least. And yeah, that's basically it, I think. As much +2 damage as possible, and yeah, roll with that, and you will do fine, because the most amount of damage is from your gems and from this weapon for this build. For the attribute points, I spent as following: a third into wisdom, a half into ferocity, and the last ones into toughness. So you can see here on the bars that how I spent my points, and that leaves us with a chance of shocking enemies of 24%. We're using shock and freeze, so it's working out pretty well. And for the Gate of Fates here, set as following: you have to turn some of the discs to make this happen. I have the assassin over here. Normally it's down here, so you need to turn this once, and then turn the other one, the outer ring as well, to get the Undertaker or the summoning part of the tree to line up with the assassin tree here. But you can see I've chosen some spell power and some ailment chance here for the elemental side of things, and all the crit multiplier here, and extra damage when we are alone with the bosses, and a lot of extra summoning damage up here, and the Undertaker for the green globes is really powerful, so we need that. Some extra toxic damage that will buff up the green globes here, and then some attack speed, and the poison stack, so the summons will apply a poison stack to enemies as well as ourselves. So also we will pick up all the extra lightning damage from down here. That is pretty powerful. You can see 15%, so that's a 60% increase on top of all our gems, which is pretty nice. And the extra grievous afflictions here for an extra ailment to be applied, and some elemental damage here, and the lightning effect here that also grants us some extra passive damage while we are doing our stuff, some extra crit in this small part here. And then we move up here to get the extra projectile for all our summons for our ranged abilities. And that is basically it, to be honest. And it's working out pretty well, and I really like this build, and I hope that you guys like it as well and you can use it. Yeah, let's just run through some gameplay here so you can see how it works out. And if you got any questions, please just let me know in the comments, and I will help you guys out as much as I can. You can also use your summon abilities to shield for all the projectiles from the enemies, so that will keep you safe from projectiles, as you can see on here. But yeah, it has no problem taking down enemies this far up, and it can go a lot higher also. I think it is a pretty cool build. You can see they're just simply taking down the this guy here, which is cool, right? So yeah. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and remember, if you like Wolcen, if you like ARPGs, please subscribe to my channel for more build guides and other good stuff. But I'll just see you guys in the next one. Peace out.